recorded talk, not music, but the first talk of any kind, sermon or otherwise, to sell 1 million copies. The talk was called The Strangest Secret. And in it, he talks about the strangest secret is simply that you become what you think about. Now, this is a biblical truth. In Proverbs, it says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, a man becomes what he thinks about all day long. It turns out that what we focus on, what we concentrate on, what we think about, we tend to gravitate towards, move towards, become that. And if it's good or bad, we're gonna be pulled magnetically in the direction of the things we think about. You become what you think about is the strangest secret. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Henry Ford once said, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. Now, this was proven several years ago, and this is another old story that I just love, and it was proven in this instance. Now, any of you remember the book or the movie Unbroken about Louis Zamperini? He was a track star, and he goes into World War II and gets in a Japanese concentration camp, and finally gets out later. It's the story of his whole life. It's a wonderful story. So Louis ran in the Berlin Olympics with the Nazis doing this. Hitler is coming into power. And he was a miler. He was a kid from California. And in the Berlin Olympics, Louis ran the mile in 4 minutes and 21 seconds and just barely missed a medal. The miler that year was a little over 4 minutes. That was 1936. By 1954, no one had broken the 4-minute mile. No one. A guy did a 4 minute and 1 second, and it stood for 9 years. It was widely thought and taught that the human body, the physiological condition of the human body, it was impossible for anyone to train enough to go fast enough for the human body to cross a mile in under 4 minutes. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. You become what you think about. And one doctor even prophesied that if someone actually did run a mile in under 4 minutes, that their heart would explode and they would die right there. Until 1954. Roger Bannister, famously, is the first human being, and that's a picture of him, to break the 4-minute mile. The record lasted 46 days. 22 people broke the 4-minute mile within the next 6 years. I've told this story and I love it, so much so that the watch that was used by the old guy sitting there in the trench coat as Bannister went across the line went up for sale on Sotheby's auction house in London. Well, apparently I've got too much money because I decided I needed that watch. What a great story and what a great thing to have in my safe for my kids to fight over after I die. So I go to bidding on this watch. I set myself the limit of $10,000, and I was gonna go no more than $10,000 to buy this world-class keepsake. I quit bidding at $38,000. I bought this one on eBay for $4, okay? But if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. The power of intentionality. I'm gonna be intentional about my life. I'm gonna be intentional about my spiritual walk. I'm gonna be intentional about the dimensions and the compartments and the departments. You don't interview the guy after the Super Bowl and the little reporter runs over to the athlete and goes, how did you just win the World Series, the Super Bowl? They never say, I don't know, I just got off the bus. Now, I've been training since I was 6 years old. It's an intentional act to win. The power of intentionality goes with the power of belief and what we in our Christian walk call faith. What we believe. And we just did 2 years ago at Ramsey the largest study of millionaires ever done. in North America. We studied 10,167 millionaires, in-depth, airtight research, because we knew people wouldn't like the results. Because we kind of knew some of the things we were going to find. And we knew that some people wouldn't like it. So we were really careful. We had outside research firm help us with the details and the control groups and the processes. If you know anything about research, it's a very detailed thing to do it properly and not get confirmation bias and these kinds of things in there. Detailed thing. Here's the interesting thing. If you get somebody to say something, if like 60% of the people say something in a group like that, that's called statistically significant, right? Over half of them say this. 97% of the millionaires that we talk to, when we ask them, can you become a millionaire today? And when you first started, did you believe you could become a millionaire? 97% said yes. When we interviewed the general public that weren't millionaires, do you think you can become a millionaire? 69%. Still a lot, but significantly less than 97% said that they thought they could. I wasn't planning to write another book this year for sure. I'm not that great an author anyway. I'm good at selling them, but I'm not that great a writer. And so, but I got aggravated by two things that kept popping up in my face. One is I've been teaching these biblical principles to get out of debt, save money, so that you can become wealthy, so you can be outrageously generous. Managing money for God, God's ways, and for your family is part of God's ways, right? And I've been teaching people this stuff for 30 years. And we call it the baby steps. You walk up the baby steps, you get out of debt, build your emergency fund, start your retirement, the kids' college, pay off your house, your baby step 7, woohoo, we're free, we did it, okay? And we walk them through the baby steps, and I kept running into people all over America, wherever I went, and they would walk up and they go, hey Dave, I've been doing your stuff for like a long time. Like, I'm old. Like, I've been doing this 25 years. I've been listening to you. And I'm a baby steps millionaire. Because the hope stealers are out there. The first thing they tell you is this: all the rich people have all the money, and the only way you get rich is to inherit your money. You heard that one, say yes. Well, here's the thing. That's a lie. No, I mean, I've got data, facts, not your broke brother-in-law with an opinion, facts. Okay? When we study these millionaires, 10,000 of them, 79% received precisely 0 as an inheritance. That's 8 out of 10. 5%, when they did get an inheritance, it was a little one, like $4,000 or $5,000, which does not make you a millionaire, in case you didn't know the math. Another 5% received a big inheritance, like a couple of $100,000, after they were already millionaires. So that didn't make them a millionaire. So 5 and 5 and 79 is 89. That's 9 out of 10 millionaires in America today did it themselves, first generation rich with the blessings of God. Whiny little friend says, but it's just not fair out there. It's not fair out there. The fair's where the tilt-a-whirl is in the prize pig. It's not fair. And it ought to be equal. Equal is fair. Not in the Bible. And by the way, equal's not fair. If you work 100 hours a week and the guy works 10 hours a week, you should get paid more. And they make more money because they talk to more people than I talk to. That's not fair. I'm in Nashville. I've got all these music friends. I can't play. I'm in talk radio for a reason. I got all these music friends and they sell 10 million albums. I've never even seen an album except one I put on the record. It's not fair that they make more money at albums than I make. Of course it is. They serve more people. They help more people. They help more people with joy than I helped with that. If I sell 10 books and help 10 people get out of debt, I should make one set of money. That's fair. But if I sell 10 million, I should make another set of money. That's fair. Fair is not equal. Because effort, talent, education, bothering to show up is not equal. Tell you, well, this game is rigged. The system's rigged. So I got to meet Condoleezza Rice. This woman is incredible. We were doing a leadership event. She came in to speak with us. She's unbelievably smart. Her purse is smarter than I am. And the woman, competition ice skater, world-class concert pianist, second woman ever to be Secretary of State, first black woman ever to be Secretary of State, provost of Sanford, grew up in a lower middle class family in extremely racist situation in Birmingham, Alabama. In those days, they called it Bommingham because that's when all the bombing was happening with the racism. But she wasn't defined by that. She didn't say the system's rigged. Is racism real? Oh, yes, racism is real. Is sexism real? Oh, yes, it's real. We don't all have the same starting point from where we got to where we got to go. We don't all have the same starting point. And that's not fair, it just is. But Condoleezza said her parents, what they taught her was that it doesn't matter where you come from, all that matters is where you're going to. Some people started further back than that and they passed me. Did you know every single demographic, every single race we found in the study had become millionaires? Someone chose to go from where they started to believe, I'm gonna be intentional. If you think you can, if you think you can't, you become what you think about. I'm going to aim at this. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, and I'm gonna go do it.